Join us as we converse with Yanique, a compelling voice in today's generation, as she shares her journey of overcoming misfortune. From her unique upbringing to navigating difficulties of mental health, she offers an outspoken and inspirational perspective of thinking differently in the face of life's challenges. Do you believe that your childhood experiences have shaped your understanding on mental health?
Well, my childhood for me was a bit shaken per se. I think about like out of 100% of Jamaicans, there are 20% of us who are in my situation right now growing up. Growing up, I was an adopted child. I had it rough, a little bit rough, and a little bit easier on my mommy and my daddy's side. Growing up, I didn't know how to express my feelings, and up to until this day, I really don't know how to express my feelings. Sometimes I can contain it, I can maintain it, but because I was adopted, it impacted my life in a certain type of way. Um, Other persons has their mommy and their daddy. They can tell them what background they're from. Um, Great grandmother, great grandfather from bloodline, not from being adopted, but from bloodline. And it impacted my life so bad that at one point I just wanted to just give up and call it a day. So that impacted me in such a way where sometimes I just felt like, okay, I want to give up. But the thing is, I have a very imaginative mind. I just think like a child sometimes. So that helps me growing up as well. Up until right now, it really helped me in that way.
Do you believe that if you had grown with your biological family, you would have become like a different person from who you are now?
Well, everyone grows up a different type of way. Everybody does. Our parents, their background, whatever. But for me, being an adopted child, I felt left out because when everybody was coming together, I would just stay away because I have it in my mind that okay, I'm not their blood relative, so I don't think I should be a part. You know those ways. So
Okay. Have you ever tried to reach out to your biological family?
yes, I have, but unfortunately, it didn't work out how I wanted it to work out. Um, I did an article with Jamaica Star. I think it's the Star, the Observer, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I had an article on that, and many persons reached out to me, but who contacted me, they weren't my parents. I even went as far as to do DNAs, and they didn't match. But anyway, anywhere my mother is today, and if she is listening this podcast, I can say kudos to you because I am still alive. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if you're dead or you're alive, thank God for you.
Do you know your parents' name, their full names?
No, no, I don't.
Oh wow.
I don't know much information. There wasn't any form of information. So I had it the harder way because I don't know anything, no name, nobody.
Mm. That's a real tough one. So it's
Yes,
not
so
like you
that's
have
why
anything to
when
go as lead.
that is why that is why this impact on my childhood coming up because as I was saying, everyone else knows their backgrounds. If it's even a great grandmother, some form of family member, blood wise. But there was no clue for me. So even if I try a talk show, it would be like a needle in a haystack, very hard to find. So
That's really a tough
that
one.
that's really a tough one. But I'm still here. Thanks be to God. I am still here.
That's
And I
true.
think that if I was not supposed to be here, I wouldn't have. And I know that I'm actually here for a purpose. So
You have children.
that is
Do you
it.
think that that plays a role in how you grow your children? Like how you were brought up, not knowing family. You think you know
Um,
step out to have a different approach as a mother?
yes, yes. Financially, I'm still working on. Yes, everyone is working on their financial needs and whatever, but I'm still working on that. But where it comes to my children knowing me and knowing their father, knowing their family, I make sure that I make that happen because I wouldn't want them to be in my shoes right now. I wanted them to be as comfortable and not to go through what I have been through.
No, which is good, which is good. And some people
Yeah,
take a different route and they
yes,
become, you know, so destructive. Them go to drugs, them
yeah,
become promiscuous, them just always over the place. But your adoptive parents or your adoptive guardian, like how
yeah.
was upbringing like for you?
They were Christians. I grew up in a Christian home. I go to church every day. Well, not every single day, but there were days of the week that I had to go to church. So I'd leave from school to church, then from church to home, and then repeat the same cycle. Sometimes I have crusade at church and so forth. But they were Christians and they were very strict. And I was a little explorer.
Rebel. The correct word is a rebel. Yes.
So I liked to explore, and they didn't like the fact that I like to explore. So they set their boundaries, and I went beyond. Unfortunately, if I had the sense that I have right now, trust me, I would so use them right now. No, back then. But it teaches me a lot. It teach me values. I went beyond their rules. Got bad, but even though I fell out of school, I still held my composure. I still went back to school. I don't have as much qualifications as I wanted to have. However, I am still working on those. But for right now, whatever I have, I am grateful for it. and I wouldn't have had that without. Well, my mother and my father, they, as I said, they were very strict, very. So I got put out early by them. They're good people, and you have to respect their boundaries.
When you say early, what age are you talking about?
Okay, so I fell out of school at the age of 16 years old.
Okay.
They had me right up until I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Then I decided that I wanted to go live with man, with Pitney.
Uh-huh.
And my parents said, all right, then go on. They put me out right there. They said, don't come back in my house. Don't not come back in there. You want to live with man, you want to live with man. Anyways, living with that man, he was very abusive. Maybe he's listening to this podcast, maybe he's not. Maybe his family is listening and they all know how it was. He was very abusive and me not sit down and take no man lick. So if him lick me, I go lick him back. And it caused a whole lot of controversy. I go back to mommy. Mommy say, nah, take your in back, stay over there. Got pregnant with this young man again. After 16, I was about age 19. Yeah, had the baby at 20. Still abusive, up and down. I'm working. He was so abusive. He always gave me bruises. So when I get bruises, I cannot go to work because of the type of work that I'm doing. So I decided that I am not going to continue. So mommy drag along the two little kids under a bus shed and said, look here, I'm not taking this anymore. So if it's a bus shed, I must sit under with my kids. I will sit under there. Then I called my mother before and I was telling them about the situation. They said they don't know how to help me. I said fine. Went to the police station. Police said me for carry warrant to man, or if he hits me again, whatever. Somebody said to me, can't bother to deal with the police and I can't bother to deal with the parents either. So I went under the bus shed and there I was with the kids. Mommy came to get me because she realized it was getting very serious, and also with the police. So that is how I came out of that relationship, went back to my parents' house. And then when I went back to their house, there was another type of work that I was doing that they weren't approved of. So they had to force me out again because them say bartending work a bugayaga work. So they don't want any bugayagas. They close their doors at 9 o'clock, and if it's after 9, I have to stay a road. So after doing bartending work at night time, I have to find somebody else and catch. This is so emotional. But trust me, God put me through those situations for me to learn. I had to catch people yard, and I must say thank you to all persons who put up with me if I've done anyone any wrong, because I'm not a bad doing person, I'm a very good doing person. But if you see it that way that I did something bad, I'm sorry. Anyways, back to the story. I had to fend for myself by any means necessary. I was in the streets. I was one of them who they called dirty foot girl. Dirty foot girl, yes. My mom put me out, so I had to be a dirty foot. Um, Being a dirty foot, I was still trying to be independent. So I worked from bar to bar. I wasn't so good at maths. So sometimes the check-in kind of was a bit off. So I end up losing jobs. And I say, Yanni, come on, you can do it. Just try going out there. And then I went out there, try finding work. Um, for a long while, remember, I now have two kids already. I had to fend for them, and I had to fend for myself out in the streets. Sometimes I'm not working. I just had to do what I had to do. Even though I didn't want to do half of what I have done, I had to do what I had to do to make sure my children eat, even though my parent, oh, I didn't say this, but after I got put out, I didn't get put out with the kids. My mommy and daddy took care of them. Even though they're there, I can't even take them from them because they're going to say me and take them pitney. So I just leave them up there. They have their own space, they have their own room. I make sure that they have food to eat, they go to school and stuff like that. Um, I have been working, still can't find the amount of money to say let's rent a place so that I can put the kids. I keep losing jobs. It's not working out. And I just wanted to give up. And right there, I had mental breakdowns. I reached at a point where all I wanted to do was to just close my eyes and wish it would all be over. I think of suicide. I think of a lot of things. But then, and going through those, I realized that I was on a ship. And you know how ships are. Sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's rocky. So I worked my way up. I do courses, I do internships. I haven't been to a college before, even up to until now. I've done courses, but not at a college. All in the work, same way. One of did not dash it way. So we're gonna claim the college same way. Uh, Up until this day, I have not moved in with my mother and father. I find my house, my dwelling. I find somewhere for myself and make sure that my family is okay. But I do take care of mommy and daddy because you know they're getting older. So I have to go and look for them. I take care of them. I make sure they're happy and they make sure I'm happy too.
That's
Mommy always mommy always pray for me. But experience teaches wisdom.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
And that's good. I like the fact that they still support you in spite, of the belief
Inspired.
because there are people who strict and they just, stand and nothing else can change their mind.
Yes,
But
that's true.
can you share a vital moment from your upbringing that influenced your approach to self-care and mental well-being?
Okay. I Meanwhile I was in the community coaching. I would say staying at person's house. I wasn't a dunce person. I could read and I could write. So I was sending out resumes, asking persons for work and stuff like that. And there was this one community development center. They had youth meetings. Those helped me a lot because I liked social gatherings, the good social gatherings. They helped me a lot to work, mental health, how to take care of myself. They really helped me out at that point in time when I was giving up. I felt right in their hands. They are the Forward Step Foundation, which I'm a part of right now. They did they do life skills. So while doing life skills, I realized that there are many other things I can do without not even trying. They showed me that. So big up Forward Step. Anyone of them.
That's good. That's really good because support is a very vital thing. It's essential for everybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still don't understand how much support goes and how strong it can be.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been through rocky roads, and finding them was the ideal. They became my family. They when no one else was there, they were there. So kudos to them.
That's good.
And also family members as well. I don't mean all of them because some of them, oh my god, they were just being family. They were just being, upscaled. Anyways, my I have family members who stood by me, keep up, Yanique, alright, stuff like that, even though they didn't have things to help me out at that time. They didn't have resources to help me out at that time, but they still kept in contact and they helped out with whichever situation I am in. Thank you, family. You know yourself.